Welcome to Rachel Uncensored, the only place on the internet that you can find an uncensored version of me. Hi, I'm Rachel, and welcome back to another solo episode. Whoa, oh, I just got a Furbo notification. Oh, it's just my recap from the day of my doggos playing in the house. How is everyone doing today? Don't tell me I can't hear you, but I hope it's well. I hope you are on the highest of highs and you never come down from it. Actually, that sounds terrible. That sounds exhausting. Y'all, I need a neutral every once in a while. I need someone to just relax. Anyway, I'm still enjoying my new setup. My little lights, my camera. I'm very happy about it. I've missed you. I love you. Last week, if you missed it, Miss Abigail was on. And then next week, we have none other than it's either Joy or Allie. I have Abby, Joy, and Allie all lined up. I'm filming this before I'm filming those ones, and I don't know which ones are in order yet. But check out last week, check out next week, check out all the weeks after that, guys. I got a lineup going. I got some fun. I also have something up my little sleeveo, my little oversized sleeve. So make sure you're checking out, watching, seeing what's what. All right. If you're new here, every week we read an entry from a book I wrote 7 years ago, I think. 101 Things That Piss Me Off. I'm not as angry as I am. Nope. I'm not as angry as I was. But sometimes my opinions are still very valid. We are on number 56, I believe. You can correct me if I'm wrong. This one reads, you know what pisses me off? What, Rachel? Honeydew and cantaloupe. I have very strong opinions about this. I will read it first. So it says honeydew and cantaloupe. No one likes you. You serve no purpose but to take up room in my fruit salad so they don't have to pay for more good tasting fruit. Go away, bad fruit. The only people who actually like those fruits are probably also morning people. So untrustworthy. Oh, goodness gracious. I am not a huge melon fan. Now, in the last year or two, I would say 2 years now, I've been on this quest, a big quest to like all the foods that I allow myself to eat. I don't eat land meat or dairy. Sometimes I consume dairy, but it's not part of my main diet, right? So if there's a food that I'm allowed to eat that's in my realm, I want to enjoy it. I don't like being a picky eater. I don't like being like, oh, I actually don't prefer it. No, I want to like it all. I want to eat it all, man. So over the last few years, I used to hate watermelon. Now I absolutely love it. I used to hate blueberries. Love it. Tomatoes, wasabi. I'm actually getting there with sweet potato. I think I'm almost there. Chickpeas are like the last thing on my list right now. But I forgot about honeydew and cantaloupe. So I got over the watermelon thing. I actually haven't tried them since I've started liking watermelon. And if you're like, you're faking it. How in the hell do you start liking a food that you've hated? My sister always says this. She says, all food is delicious. You just have to have it in the right form. So I took that to heart. I always hated tomatoes. And then I realized I just wasn't eating the right ones, right? And then once I started eating the right ones, it changed my palate and my opinions of all of them. So I went to the East Coast with my girlfriend 2 summers ago. Her dad loves heirloom tomatoes. We ended up at an Amish farm to pick up some plants. They had a tomato garden. They said, yeah, you just pick them yourself and then we'll weigh them and whatever. We got bundles, right? Because her dad is in heaven. He just eats those things like apples. We get all these tomatoes, and they made me a tomato sandwich out of these heirloom tomatoes from this Amish farm. I still think about it. It almost brought me to tears of happiness because it was so good. And then from then on out, I have had a hankering for a tomato. I put it on my sandwiches. I put it on my burgers now. I am not a huge fan of cherry tomatoes in my salad. I feel like it's too much. If you chopped it up and it was like in quarters, then I would enjoy it. But I'm like, that's the size of a grape. You're being a little bit ridiculous there. Chop it up and then it's good. And then blueberries the other day. I literally just had one. I give my dogs blueberries because I heard they're really good for them. And I just popped one in my mouth, started eating it. I was like, oh, I'm obsessed with this now. I don't know what it is. Maybe because I've been having more blueberry flavored things, because that's what happened with wasabi. I was eating wasabi. I wasn't eating wasabi. I hated wasabi, but I'm obsessed with sushi. And when you go to sushi and you get omakase, which means chef's choice, they just give you whatever they want to give you, not rolls. It's like pieces of sushi, right? They would put wasabi in it without saying that it's going to be in there because it's supposed to enhance the flavor. It's supposed to be part of the experience. And it would ruin it for me. And I was like, fuck this. I want to enjoy this. So I'm going to start liking wasabi. I got wasabi flavored peas, wasabi flavored almonds, chips, anything wasabi flavored I could find, I bought. I can't eat sushi without it now. I absolutely love it. I crave it. I'm mad when I don't have it, right? I think I forgot that honeydew and cantaloupe are on that list with chickpeas. I got to figure out how to like this shit, right? But I will say it's ridiculous how much they take over a fruit salad when they don't need to. Please, guys, no one likes it that much. And it's because it's cheap. And that makes me angry. The best fruit salad, mango, pineapple, strawberry, grapes, golden kiwi. Don't give me a regular one. Give me a golden kiwi. Don't believe me? You're wrong. That is a little bit of watermelon, blueberry. I don't think anyone would be like, you know what would make a good fruit salad? Cantaloupe and honeydew. I still agree with that. But give me a year. Let me figure it out. My opinions will probably change. Okay, so last solo episode was the wedding one. I hope you guys liked that. This one is going to be an Am I the Asshole? And then the next solo episode, I actually already filmed it because I was excited about it. We deep dive into Halloween. And I actually did some research, found some really funny stuff. I actually very much enjoyed that episode. So if you hate Am I the Assholes, I'm sorry that's what we're doing today. I put all my effort into that one I just filmed. I feel like the last 2 months, though, you've gotten some good shit. So sorry for this, just one last one. And then you got Allie, you got Joy, you got the Halloween special. You got stuff coming up. So if you love this, here we go. If you hate this, sorry. Just bear with us, all right? I already looked these up, though. I did a little bit of research. I found the ones I want to talk about, all right? Here we go. Let's just jump into this. Am I the asshole for refusing to move out, even though my roommate is 7 months pregnant? So, off of the title, I always say, it depends. Are you on the lease? Are you not on the lease? Like, how long have you known she wants you to move out? All this stuff, right? So let's read. Hey guys, last week, my roommate Becca found out that she is not only pregnant, but 7 months pregnant. Oh, girl did not know. I always feel bad for girls because I found out some people just don't show. They still think they're having their period, but that's just spotting. They thought they were using protection, so there's no way, you know? That sucks. That really sucks. Anyway, I'll keep reading. She texted me that we had to talk today, and I assumed she would be moving out soon for more space when the baby comes. Instead, she told me that I have to move out to make space for the nursery and her baby daddy to move in. I'm on a terrible salary and cannot afford anywhere else to live. Plus, she wants me to move out like right now so she can prepare for the baby. Even if I wanted to move out now, the apartment rentals in my area are either too expensive or well below living standards, so I don't want to move. This is pretty valid. You can't give someone a 1 day's notice, right? Because of you. All right, keep reading. She went absolutely crazy the moment I told her I wouldn't move out because I'm ruining her motherhood experience by not letting her family live together. I pay rent here and my name is on the lease. Oh, done. No. If your name is on the lease, you do not have to move out. No ifs, ands, or buts. I was going to say if like this was her place and you're renting a room from her, she can't kick you out, but like it'd be like she's like, this is my place, I need my space, but your name is on the lease? Anyway, sorry. My name is on the lease at least until the end of the year. I'm not going to pull out of the lease, and I told her that if she wants her little family together, that she would have to move and find someone to half the cheap rent with. And I'll find someone to half the cheap rent with. Yeah, that's valid. Okay, and it says that made her start crying and saying how I just want to ruin her life to the point her baby daddy had to console her and tell me to get out of their way already. I've not heard her stop crying since, but I think I'm totally valid that I don't want to leave. Am I the asshole for not wanting to move out? I have to say hard no. You don't have to uproot your life because of this. Like, she has to make these moves now, not you. I understand her predicament. I understand that she's trying to okay, her world's about to shift. She's trying to make the best moves possible. But I get it when it comes to renting. Like, if you're in a good spot, it's like every man for themselves out there. It's fucking hard. Okay, let's see what the comments say. Say though. Top one, not the asshole. This is a quote unquote her problem, not a quote you problem. She wants the cheap rent for her and her baby daddy. Your name is on the lease. You pay rent. She can't kick you out. However, be prepared for a very uncomfortable living situation from now on. Where does the baby daddy live now? If she wants to move in with him, he has a place already. Can she not move in with him? The OP says baby daddy lives with his mom, which is not a bad thing. A lot of people do that to save rent, and it's a pretty good idea. Baby daddy lives with mom. It's been a bad roommate situation for years, but the rent is super cheap for where we live, so I've just dealt with her. Honestly, I don't even know for sure if she's actually pregnant and just wants me out. Ooh, the person said, she is, quote unquote, just finding out she's 7 months pregnant and isn't showing any signs. I'd be very leery of her telling you the truth. Tell her that if she wants to start a life with him, she can move in with him. Stand firm on this. There's a good chance she's lying to you to get you to move out. Is there perhaps something you could report her to the landlord about? Is baby daddy staying over a lot? That is usually in violation of a lot of lease agreements. OP says he does stay over like half the week. She does weird things before. I might report her to the landlord, but honestly, I would just like to keep my apartment in the long run with a new roommate. Yeah, everyone's saying there's no way she didn't know. So either she's lying about being pregnant or she's lying about her not knowing. Not the asshole. I would say this is a pretty clear, cut and dry, not the asshole thing. Everyone said my BS alarm's going off. Not the asshole. Your name is on the lease and you both live there. The audacity to tell you to move out is outrageous. Roommates are hard. I have so many friends that are just dying to live alone or barely make it by so that they can live on their own because roommates are fucking hard. It's one thing to live with your significant other. Even that can be tricky for some people. But a roommate, man, there can be a lot of great situations. I know I've had a lot of really great roommates, but I've also had some terrible ones. And you have to stand firm and set boundaries or things can go wrong real quick. It sucks. But again, because of the economy and how things are, people will put up with a lot for cheap rent in a good area. Okay, before we move on to the next, let's check to see if we have a sponsor for today. Sponsor! Home Chef. Home Chef is our sponsor for today. Now, as adults, we all dread the question, what should we have for dinner? I know in this household, it's the biggest question of the day. And a lot of the time, inevitably, we just end up ordering takeout because going to the grocery store, figuring out what we want to eat, bringing it home, and cooking it is just too much. And we spend so much money doing that. So if you rather enjoy a home-cooked meal without the stress of planning ahead, Home Chef makes it really easy and saves you money. Home Chef provides fresh ingredients and chef-designed recipes conveniently delivered to your doorstep to simplify your cooking experience. I'm telling you guys, this food is delicious and extremely easy to make. I made our favorite this last week was the gnocchi. Abby rated it a 9 out of 10. And if you know her, that is a true compliment to the chef that created this. Whether you prefer classic meal kits with pre-portioned ingredients and easy instructions, speedy recipes ready in less than 30 minutes, oven-ready kits with pre-chopped ingredients, or quick microwave meals that assemble in minutes, Home Chef has you and the entire family covered for delicious meals without the hassle. They have over 30 options a week and serve a variety of dietary needs, so you don't have to worry about what to make ahead of time. Not only is it convenient, but it's economical too. Home Chef customers save an average of $86 per month on groceries. For a limited time, Home Chef is offering my listeners 18 free meals plus free dessert for life. And of course, free shipping on your first box. Go to homechef.com/Rachel. That's homechef.com/Rachel for 18 free meals and free desserts for life. You heard that right. Homechef.com/Rachel. You must be an active subscriber to receive the free dessert. Okay, this one I thought would spark a little conversation, if you will, because I would have acted completely different. And it's one of those things where it's like, you're not the asshole, but it would have been kind of you to do the thing. It would have, like, you're kind of a dick, but you're not an asshole kind of thing. All right, I'll just read it. It says, am I the asshole for not giving up my bed? Right then and there, of course, you're like, no. But knowing the full situation always changes people's perspectives a little bit. I live with my girlfriend. We live in a 3-bedroom apartment, but only our bedroom has a bed in it. One of the rooms is used as an office for me, and the other is more of a storage room. My girlfriend went out with her friend during the weekend. Okay, they've misspelled everything, by the way, so excuse me if I'm a little choppy here. I'm trying to decode everything here. Okay, my girlfriend went out with her friend this weekend. When they were out, her friend got a message from someone with proof that her boyfriend was cheating on her. They lived together, so she didn't want to go home. My girlfriend told her she could stay with us for the night, but didn't tell me until they arrived back. My girlfriend asked if I'd have the sofa for the night so her friend can have the bed with her. I refused since I'm not going to be kicked out of my own bed. I told her that her friend can have the sofa, but also that it's only for the night and she can't stay any longer than that. My girlfriend said I was being unfair and that her friend should have the bed, but I just said she can have the sofa or stay somewhere else. Am I the asshole for not giving up my bed? This is, I think, some people are very, very particular about their bed. And I'm not one of those people. Anyone can sleep in my bed. I don't care. As long as you're like clean and not like doused in some shit. We've had friends just crash in our bed with us. We don't care. When people stay here, they're more than welcome to have the bed. I even gave up the bed. Zara crashed here the other night and she went to bed before us and she like crawled into our bed and Abby and I just went and slept in one of the other beds. Like, we don't care. We're not those types of people, right? There are some people though that do not like anyone touching their bed. They don't want anyone sleeping in their bed. They're very particular about their sleep. So this seems like one of those people. Now, I personally think you would have been a gentleman to give up the bed. It would have been the right thing to do and the kind thing to do, to give up the bed. This girl just found out her boyfriend's cheating on her. The two girls just want to sleep in bed together. She wants to console her. She wants to be consoled. Like, to me, it's like, yeah, give up the fucking bed, bro. Like, don't be a dick. It is your bed, so you have every right to not give it up. But I think the move would have been to give it up. Does that make sense? You don't have to, but you should have. Now, the comments were interesting. The first one says, not the asshole. There's no way in hell I would give up my bed. That's your personal space. To me, that's like asking to borrow someone's underwear. You just don't do that. Your girlfriend should have given you a heads up on her friend staying, and she should have discussed it with you. I wouldn't want someone just crashing on my couch all the time either. So while I put a limit on the stay, I think she should be allowed to stay more than one night. So that is also a thing. Immediately being like, I'm not giving up my bed. She can have the couch, but one night only. Like, dude, you got some issues. Like, relax. But this person's, the top comment saying not the asshole, this is what I'm talking about. Like, some people are really particular about their bed. And that's their thing. And I don't get it, but I kind of have to respect that a little bit. And then someone else said, I agree. I don't want guests in my bedroom. And hell is going to be freezing over before a guest kicks me out of my bed. OP's girlfriend is acting weirdly entitled right there. Like, these comments were like, I don't understand these comments. And then finally scrolled down far enough to find someone say something that I agree with. And it said, this is one of those situations where you aren't technically wrong, but you need to understand that there are consequences for your behavior. Are you wrong for not wanting to give up your bed? No. But the kind thing to do would be let the woman have the bed for the night, where I'm sure she and her girlfriend would have ended up just talking about the situation more and figuring out what to do. Are you wrong for not wanting the friend to stay longer than a night? Also no. And your girlfriend should have warned you that she was bringing someone over in a softly emergency situation in the first place. But your girlfriend has as much say in what happens in your home as you do. You don't get to make the ultimate decisions any more than she does. Your girlfriend is showing kindness to a friend in a trying time. She expected you to do the same. Instead, you've done the opposite. Be prepared for how this changes her view on you. Mild, you're the asshole. So I agree with all this. Like, I'm assuming you guys share the apartment, share the space, right? And so she should have had the conversation with you, but I think she just expected you to do the right thing and you did the opposite of what she was expecting. So someone responded to that and said, I'm sad how far I had to scroll to see this. I'm convinced the mass majority of Reddit doesn't have close friends. And I was also thinking the same thing when I was reading all the comments that were like, you're not the asshole, fuck that bullshit. It seemed to me to be from guys. And I think that's because women have closer connections with their friends. And when one of them's going through something, we all kind of band together. And when guys go through something like, oh, you're good, suck it up. I think that's really sad that that's what society has done to men, to like stifle their emotion and not wanting to help other people. But women, we band together. It's like when any of our friends have ever gone through a breakup, we're like, come over, come on, go sleep over at our house. Like it's this immediate, like we're going to nurture you, sleep with us in our bed, we'll cuddle and talk as much as you want. That's just like how women handle it. So typically, when I say this, I'm saying it's typically from what I've seen. Dudes are just like, sucks. You want a beer? And girls are like, how do we fix that? Come here, cry, I will pet your hair. And then someone commented on that post saying the vast majority of Reddit doesn't have close friends. And someone said, I'm positive of it. The way that people talk about friendships makes it pretty clear that they have a handful of acquaintances and don't realize it. Also, the people saying that the friend should have just stayed at a hotel? What? She wants to stay with her friend who cares about her. Plus, hotels are expensive as fuck. Yeah, what the hell? I was reading that. A bunch of people were like, she could have stayed elsewhere. She could have stayed at a hotel. Like fucking hell. If one of my best friends, close friends, or even acquaintances just got cheated on, would I be like, all right, well, Motel 6 down the street. Like, what? No. And someone said this right here. If my friend found out her husband was cheating on her, my husband would not only sleep on the couch, but he'd remake the bed, pop out a bottle of wine for us, and let us have a sleepover. I would do the exact same for any of my husband's friends in the same scenario. Although they would probably just get drunk playing guitar and pass out on the couch together instead of watching Legally Blonde in bed. LOL. The women and the men on this particular post have vastly different opinions about this. And I really do think it has to do with how we console our friends when they're going through something and when people have an issue with their bed. Again, I don't think you're a complete asshole, but I think it would have been the right thing to do. So that one I thought would spark conversation. I think that one might be, it is split on Reddit, but I think it might be split in our comments. It's just not how I would have acted or how I would have expected Abby to have acted at all. This is just not in my wheelhouse of, my phone just buzzed. But I do know people have things with their bed. And I do know that guys respond to these guys typically respond to these things differently because that's how society has trained them to respond. All right, moving on. Am I the asshole for refusing to let my best friend's fiance propose at my wedding? No. God, I don't even need to read anymore. Not a fucking chance. You do not propose at someone's wedding unless everyone is on board with it. Everyone being the groom and the bride. And also the person you're going to propose to. Are they going to like that? You got to make sure everything's good to go before you even think about doing that. Also, I think that's dumb. I know some people love it. I think we've read a Reddit before. I think we've read a post before where someone was like, they proposed at my wedding. I gave them the green light. I loved it. It was great. So some people are all on board, but if no one is, if there's one person that's iffy, no, not a chance. All right, let's read though. So I, a 30-year-old female, got married last month to the love of my life. Okay. And everything went off without a hitch, except for one awkward moment. A week before the wedding, my best friend Maya, a 29-year-old female, asked her fiance Jake, a 28-year-old female, if he could propose. Okay, so I have to read this. A week before my wedding, my best friend Maya asked her fiance Jake if he could propose to her at my reception. Apparently, Jake thought it would be romantic and was convinced that it would make their moment more special. Oh, wait, I think they miswrote this. I think that she is saying Jake asked if he could propose to Maya at her reception. I don't think Maya asked Jake. This was a little confusing. Let's keep reading. Now, I love Maya, but the idea of having my wedding overshadowed by their proposal didn't sit right with me. I politely said no and suggested they have their own special day. Maya seemed a little disappointed. Oh, so Maya did ask. Maya asked if Jake could propose at the reception. What the hell? I'm sorry. So Maya would know it was happening? What? This all seems so weird to me. I thought the part of proposals was like the surprise of it. I thought like that was the jam. Okay, anyway. Maya seemed a little disappointed, but she said she understood. This whole thing is weird to me. This whole thing is like red flaggy friendship. Okay, anyway. On the wedding day, I noticed Maya and Jake were acting distant, and it was clear something was off. I later found out that Jake was upset with me for ruining his plan and felt that I had been selfish for not allowing them to share in the love of the day. No. God fucking no. Am I the asshole for refusing to let them have their proposal at my wedding? Or was I being selfish for not letting them make it a double celebration? I immediately am saying, not a chance are you the asshole here. No way, Jose. No. Top comment, not the asshole. Your wedding day is about celebrating you and your partner, not serving as a backdrop for someone else's proposal. Proposals at weddings are often seen as inappropriate because they can shift the focus away from the couple being celebrated, which is exactly why you were right to say no. Honestly, your friend should have known better than to ask you in the first place. It's common sense that it's rude to make someone else's wedding day about you. I don't understand why she even thought that would be okay. It's your day, not an open mic for other people's romantic gestures. You weren't selfish. You were just setting a completely reasonable boundary. Stand by your decision, and don't feel bad for keeping the spotlight where it belonged, on you and your partner. Yes, that was beautifully said, beautifully written. And someone said it's a trashy move. I've seen it. And even with the bride's consent, it was crass, cringe, and clunky. There was a shift in mood and almost audible mass eye roll. And then someone's like, I think it's cute with the bride's consent. Oh, some people are saying they do it with like the bouquet toss. I guess if that's your kind of thing, but someone else is, this is how I felt. The detail that was most off-putting for me is that if you know about the proposal, just say yes and move on. No need to be performative at someone else's expense, literally. It's one thing to talk about proposals, being like, I'm ready for marriage, just so you know, like if you ever asked, I would say yes. But then to be like planning out your proposal, like you together, it's a performative. It seems really fake to me. I don't know. That's my opinion though. All right, before we move on, let's check to see if we have another sponsor for today. Sponsor! Zocdoc. Zocdoc is our sponsor for today. If you've lived life at all, you know that sometimes you just have to compromise. Especially when you're dealing with finances or other people in your life, it's just inevitable. But when it comes to your health, there should be no compromising. So don't go to those doctors that don't listen to you or take slightly sketchy insurance. Instead, check out Zocdoc, the place where you can find and book appointments with doctors who you feel comfortable with, that listen to you and prioritize your health. You can search by location, availability, and insurance. There is no compromising with Zocdoc. You have more options than you're even aware of. Zocdoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare highly rated in-network doctors near you and instantly book appointments with them online. If you want to try it out, I highly suggest it. Go to Zocdoc.com/Rachel and download the Zocdoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/Rachel. Zocdoc.com/Rachel. And we're back. Am I the asshole for telling a child he was wrong? I, a 32-year-old female, took my 2 children to a space-themed museum. We were looking at a display called The Evolution of the Moon. When a child ran up to us without his parents, he looked to be about 4 or 5. He pulled my hand and yelled, "That is Jupiter!" I smiled at him and continued on through the museum. He began to follow us, which I did not mind, but I was constantly searching around for his parents, who were still absent. When we found ourselves in front of a display featuring Saturn, which prompted the boy to pull on my shirt and ask, "Is that Mars?" I politely said, "No, that is Saturn." He then yelled at me, "That is Mars!" So I said, "Okay, cool." I went to the next display. That is how I deal with children. Oh my God. A lot of times I go, okay, sure, whatever. I'm not going to have an intellectual conversation with you, so I'm not going to waste my energy trying to correct you. This time, he did not follow. A few displays later, an angry-looking man approached me and said, "Did you just call my kid dumb?" Which I nervously responded with, "Haha, is that a real question?" Him, "Did you call him dumb?" Me, "No, haha, I'm a nervous laugher." Him, "He said you did." Me, "Okay, haha." Him, "Don't talk to my fucking kid." This is where I get mad. Me, "Look, dude, he followed us and asked me if Saturn was Mars, and I said no because he was wrong. I did not call him dumb." And this is probably was the asshole move, but me. "But he was following us for almost half an hour and you weren't anywhere near him. So if he feels dumb, it's probably because that's the only type of example he has. I will not tell anyone, not even a kid, he is right when he is wrong, and your kid was wrong." Damn, you're quick on your feet. Much respect. I should have stopped there, but I was seeing red. Me, "Oh my God, you kept going. You kept going. Read him a book once in a while because he doesn't even know what the moon is. He clearly wants any sort of attention because he will follow any stranger around without a care, yelling out false information, then crying to daddy when someone just doesn't give him what he wants. No, he's wrong. You're wrong. Apple tree. You and your kids stay the hell away from us." I'm aware I could have handled this very differently, so y'all can tell me. I will say one thing. For you to remember that whole script, I think things might have been a little, maybe switched a little rude, but if this is the gist, holy shit, no, you're not fucking the asshole. Someone said LMAO, not the asshole. Also, the parents going missing is not a good sign, and he's not winning the Parent of the Year award anytime soon. That said, you might have gotten beat too, so I'd watch it, LOL. You don't know how he'll respond after. The OP said he legit just stared at me, angry, of course, but I waited for about 30 seconds for a response, but it was just as if he was downloading. And I said, "Good." He didn't respond again, so I just left. Ended up leaving the museum altogether. Wasted freaking $40. Someone said, "Fanfic." And then everyone clapped. Yeah, some people are saying like this might have been like a fake thing. Agreed. It reads like a conversation OP had with themselves while daydreaming. It's so fake, it's painful. Yeah, I was reading it, I was like, this might not be the most real thing. I even said that. A kid that young, I find it hard to believe that they would make up something like that, but whatever. If this happened, cool. If it didn't, great imagination. That's pretty much all I think about that. Okay, I read this one and oh man, it made me angry. Because okay, I'll read it and then I'll give my opinion. I have a really hard time starting to give my opinion before you guys even know what the heck is going on. Okay, it reads, "Am I the asshole for not helping my brother with his rent after he showed up to pick it up with a new tattoo?" No. I get people, if they want to live paycheck to paycheck, penny to penny, and spend their money on whatever they want, that's their business. But if you are asking to borrow money from me because you keep buying stupid shit, that's a hell no. But I'll read this. "My brother asked me if I could please help him pay his rent. It was only $800, so I agreed. When he came to my place to pick it up, I noticed he had a brand new tattoo on his calf, like it still had the plastic on from the artist. I asked him, what the fuck? And he said he had booked the tattoo months ago and that it was the artist that was hard to get in to see. I told him I'd changed my mind, so he had to go get it from our parents that berated him for his stupidity and poor decision making. He says that I'm an asshole because I agreed without any conditions and our parents make him feel stupid about his decisions. I don't think I should help him when he had the money and chose to spend it stupidly." Sounds like you're going to end up like your parents, which was valid. It sounds like your parents are mad at him, rightfully so. Everyone's saying not the asshole. Obviously, he spent his rent money on a tattoo and didn't tell you that's why he needed the money. Yeah, I wouldn't be loaning anyone money who would use theirs on frivolous purchases like that. I've lent money to friends in tough spots because extra bills came up that they didn't have any grocery money or needed unexpected car repair and couldn't afford the full bill. But nah, if they spend their money on something like a tattoo that should only be paid for with truly disposable income, I don't have much sympathy when they're short on rent. Yeah, I don't think there's anyone that's going to disagree with you on this. Someone said, I had a friend that always needed money for diapers, but was always smoking. It felt like they used their own money for ciggies so that when they were honestly in need of money from family and friends, it would be for the necessities. Oh, that was a hard one. Yeah. I can't imagine someone would say that you're the asshole for this. That's what makes me so sad. It's gross to see how mean people can get and defensive and berating and gaslighty people can be when it is so clear that the brother that was going to lend the money is fully in the right to say, no, never mind, you're an idiot. Like, and it's his money. He can choose to give it to him. He can choose to not. He can do take backsies. It doesn't fucking matter. It's his money. And it sucks that his brother made him feel like he had to come to Reddit to ask if he's an asshole or not. Because you're clearly not the asshole. Like, there's some things where it's a little like wishy-washy or whatever. But this is so cut and dry. And I feel like a lot of these are so cut and dry because people are so good at making other people feel bad. When you set boundaries or say no to people, they don't like it. And they're going to make you feel dumb. And that sucks. I hate humans. It's so hard for people to put their ego away or not get defensive or not be selfish. Like the brother that got the tattoo was being selfish. He wanted what he wanted and you had to pay the cost of it. You had to pay his rent because he wanted to go do something else. Like, you're not responsible for his rent money. And I just hate that. I hate that you felt that you had to question your decision when it was the right decision. I hate it. I hate it so much. All right. We have time for about one more, I think. Am I the asshole for refusing to let my roommate's boyfriend stay over every night? No. If he wants to start paying rent, sure. But the people that pay rent are the people that stay there every night. If you don't pay rent, you can't stay there every night. A couple, like weekends, I think is normal for a relationship. And you kind of maybe do it back and forth. But weekends, I get. Weekdays, though, that's a no. Weekdays are supposed to be like calm, normal, like there's a routine, no sleepovers, right? It's a school night. No sleepovers on a school night. We all know that from childhood, all right? Work night, school night, same thing. No sleepovers on a school night. Maybe every once in a while, but not every day. But I'm going to read this. I, a 25-year-old female, live with a roommate, a 26-year-old female, in a 2-bedroom apartment. We live together for about a year and generally get along fine. But recently, her boyfriend, a 26-year-old male, has been staying over nearly every single night. I'm talking 5 or 6 nights a week. At first, I didn't mind, but now it's starting to feel like he practically lives here without contributing to rent or utilities. He uses our kitchen, bathroom, and common areas, and it feels like I never have any privacy in my own apartment. I brought it up with my roommate and said, while I'm okay with him visiting, I'd prefer if he didn't stay over so often. She got really defensive and said that because he's her boyfriend, it's normal for him to be around a lot, and that I'm being unreasonable. Now things are tense between us, and I'm wondering if I'm overreacting. I say no. I had a friend, before I read the comments, who are obviously going to agree with me. I had a similar situation. My 2 friends were roommates. They both had boyfriends. One of the boyfriends just stays over on weekends, and then the other one, he wasn't staying over that often. He lived, but his place was like a weird living situation, so he started just showing up and being there more and more. And the friend whose boyfriend only came on weekends was just like, hey, your boyfriend, she goes, I know, I got it. I'll kick him out. And it was just like unsaid, like they just were seeing how long they could get away with it. And then once something was said, she's like, no, I know. He has overstayed his welcome. It's because like when roommate with boyfriend who only comes on weekends, she'd get home from work and he'd be there without the roommate there. And she's like, no, that's not how this works. Because again, you're using your utilities, the lights, the water, the gas, like they're using things, but not paying for the utilities. And when money's tight, that's not how we roll. So, but let's read the comments. No, you are not the asshole. Why doesn't she go stay over with him sometime? However, this may be difficult to fix. Longer term, it might be better if you either talk to her about reaching a new agreement where he moved in and you start splitting the bills differently, so he's paying his way, or talk to her about her moving out and finding a place with him and you getting a new roommate, or look at the plans for you to move out so she can either take over the rent with him or they can get a new roommate that's cool with both of them being there all the time. For clarity, yes, it's normal for couples to spend time together, but it's not reasonable for her to introduce a third party into your home on nearly permanent basis. The obvious answer is for you to agree to house rules about the number of days/nights that guests can stay over, maybe 2 nights a week, and for her to make arrangements to stay over at his place if she needs to spend more time with him, not the asshole. And everyone was like, yeah, this is the perfect way to go about this. And yes, I would look at the utility bill, show her the cost that was happening before he was there versus now when he's actually there, to show that he's actually costing her money. Someone said, not the asshole. It might even be a violation of your lease. You just needed shared living and have been made a third wheel in your own home. Beyond unreasonable. It's beyond rude to stay with anywhere and not offer to contribute something. Notify your landlord and get the help you need to get him out. P.S. Start looking for a new roommate because she'll probably throw a tantrum if you don't want her freeloader there. That always sucks. God, I am so glad I don't have to ever deal with roommates. It's a blessing. I had it, and I did it in college and after college, but once I got into a serious relationships and was an adult, I could live on my own, thankfully, because of you guys. It just makes it so hard. Oh my God, wait, I want to read this one. Okay, we'll do it really quick. Am I the asshole for requesting a separate bill for dinner instead of splitting it with the friends? No. Oh, I have so many thoughts on this. Hold on, let me read this. Am I the asshole for requesting my own bill for my dinner items instead of splitting between everyone? Went out to dinner for a friend's birthday recently. She wanted to go to a fancy steakhouse. I don't eat steak, but I went because she's a close friend. She also invited a few of her other friends, so there were 4 of us total. I got there late because the traffic was so heavy, and I arrived. They'd already ordered a tray of oysters and beef tartare. I did not eat any of these things because I don't enjoy them. Then they wanted to order a bottle of white wine. I told them that I don't like white wine, so I will not be partaking. At the end of the meal, I had ordered 2 drinks and linguine with clams. When the bill came, it was $650. The girls started saying that we should split 4 ways. I said I'd like to separate mine because I didn't partake in all the things that everyone else did. The one girl was like, I guess that's how the rich stay rich. This is coming from a girl who has 2 houses and a business. I was shocked that she had the nerve to say that and stared at her open-mouthed while trying not to see red from her comment. Then she said, I was obviously joking. She did not seem like she was joking. When the new bill came, my portion was only $80. I've been annoyed on and off about the encounter since because I felt that comment was rude and unnecessary. So, am I the asshole? No. Your money is your money. We do group meals all the time. And it is very rare we split it down the middle. Everyone has different income. Everyone orders different things. Everyone orders different amount of alcohol. Joy has a story about this, how her friend, I think she's told it on this before. She went to a friend's dinner. The place was so expensive. She ordered a salad or soup or some bullshit and was like, I'm only spending $20. And then everyone was like, the bill came, they're like, great, we'll split it right down the middle with everyone. Everyone was like $200. And she was like, what the hell? No. If the 3 of them all got the same amount of shit, then yeah, those 3 can split down the middle with everyone. That's fine. But my group does so many group dinners, and some places say you can't split bills. So everyone fucking takes a picture of the receipt and figures out their exact amount. Because it is so rude to assume that someone, even if they have the money, is willing to split. It's just fucked up. And sometimes when there's just 4 of us, and it's 2 couples, they're like, we pretty much got the same thing. It's $4 difference, whatever, but we just split it down the middle to make it easier for the waiter. And then sometimes we're like, okay, we're going out for drinks. I'll grab your drink or something if I paid a little less than I was supposed to. It's so rude for someone to comment on your financial situation and expect you to pay for their part of the bill. That is so messed up to me. I hate that so much. I definitely do not think that you are the asshole here. I'm going to read the comments. Okay. I see so many people post stuff about this. It's crazy. Not the asshole. You were upfront about not wanting to eat the apps or wanting the wine, etc. Unless you had all discussed splitting it evenly ahead of time, it's a non-issue. Your friend is just pissed that she has to pay more for stuff that she ate and drank. But I did just read that it was your friend's birthday. If you guys were taking the friend out as a gift, I would have offered to pay up for a portion of her meal so she didn't have to. That is a thing. Oh, my camera started. Hold on. My car just ran out of room on it. So I'm just going to end this real quick. Fuck that. No, you do not have to pay for anyone else's food if you did not agree to it. Even after that, it doesn't even matter. All right, but I love you guys. I clearly shouldn't have read this last one. I got angry and then my card ran out. But I love you. You wonderful, beautiful people. leave questions and comments and whatnot for next time, and I will see you later. Bye! Thank you for listening to this episode of Rachel Uncensored, the only place on the internet where you can find the uncensored version of me, Rachel Ballinger. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like, subscribe, or follow, or do whatever this platform tells you to do so that you can get notified every time I post a new episode. Love ya!